नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समावर्तो नवृत्तात्मा समावर्तः. Samavartanam, there is a ritual called Samavartanam when a brahmachari completes his Gurukulam. So till that point they don't shave actually in olden days. They just grow their hair. And the Samavartanam is called a graduation ceremony. So it's like they finish their Vedic education and after Samavartanam they get married. So it's usually done. That Satyam Vada Dharmam Chara, that is chanted during that Samavartanam ceremony. He is actually telling him what to do when he becomes a Grihastha after Brahmacharya. That is Samavartanam, this is Samavartaha. So Vishnu is Samavartaha. Avartanam, there is a word called Tanyavartanam in South Indian music. If they are playing like two different instruments, one will play mridangam, the other will be playing another percussion instrument like ghatam or something. So whatever this guy plays, they repeat it exactly. Whatever talam he had done, exactly he will repeat. There will be like a fight between those two. Avartana means repetition. Yeah. Tani Avartana means individual repetition. First he will repeat and then the other guy will repeat. So that is the meaning of avarta. Avarta means to avartan means to repeat. So why is Vishnu called a repeater? Because he repeats exactly like before. Samyak avartakaha. Very well he repeats. So why do you have to repeat? Because people don't do punyam. If you do punyam, then you don't have to fail the grades. 5th grade, you'll naturally go to 6th grade if you do what you are supposed to do in 5th grade. But people don't do. They don't do punyam. Punyam means what you're supposed to do. So they end up doing papam. And when you do a papam, there is no way you are going to get out of the chakram. You will never graduate. You keep on staying in the wheel of repeated birth and death. That is called samsara chakram. Janana marana adirupam chakram is called samsara chakram. That is what Shankara writes. Samsara chakrasya avartakaha. One who turns the wheel of birth and death. Why should somebody do that? Like he can let people out. It is not his choice. He does not interfere in your choices. He has given you that free will. If you want to do punyam, you can do punyam. If you want to do papam, then he just have to wait for you to wake up and use your free will to do the proper thing. That's why he has to bring you back again in the next life. That is the reason why he is samsara chakrasya samyak. Samyak means fair, very well. Means very fair, just. He is not unjust towards anyone. Generally people have the doubt why God is so cruel. Why people are getting that. That is because they don't see the big picture. If you look at the big picture, he wants to make you happy. And if you have to be happy, you have to exhaust whatever you have done. Because happiness is your state. Nakartritvam nakarmani lokasya srijati prabhu Gita. Lokasya prabhu Ishvaraha kartritvam, he doesn't create agency. Meaning agency belongs to the agent. Kartritvam belongs to the karta. You are the one who are deciding what to do and what not to do. And because of your choices, you cannot get out of the chakram. But he has to keep the chakram going. He has to keep the wheel. Why it is a wheel? Because it turns around again and again. If you look at the pattern in the world, everything is happening again. Like you have July now, again it will be July next year. So it has to repeat. That is our creation story. We don't have something beginning and ending like a straight line. It always keep on occurring again and again. Dhata yatha purvam kalpayat. Exactly like before, it will happen again until you improve. That's what you do actually when you get knowledge. You repeat the same concept in your mind again and again. Then it becomes clearer. That means what? It was already there in your heart. You repeated it and brought it out. It is like getting a picture out of a paper. You have the pen, you have the paper. So you had it in your mind. Slowly you are repeating it. That repetition makes it possible. Hence this samavartana, meaning repeating, is required because he is so kind to, he is just. Samyak means just. He is very fair to the jivas. He is giving a chance again and again, he gives a chance. It is not like other religions where you have only one chance. Eternal damnation or eternal heaven. You are either 7 up or 7 down. In other religions, you have only one chance. That is not dharmic religions. Buddhism, Sikhism, Jainism, Hinduism, they all believe in fairness. That is why he is called Samsara Chakrasya Pravartakaha. Iti Samavartaha.
This Avartana, this has come before,
no?
Avartano.
Avartana has come, yeah.
Avartana has
Yeah. Avartano Nivrittatma. Yeah. That's why he is putting as Anivrittatma. Nivrittatma has come thrice.
Yeah, it has come.
3 times, yeah. Avartano Nivrittatma, Anivarti Nivrittatma, Samavarto Nivrittatma. This is the 3rd time. If you split it as Nivrittatma, that is going to do, I think. But to begin with, he is going to say Anivrittatma. Nothing to worry, it is just something which came before twice, that's all. Okay, so Samavartaha Anivrittatma. So the word Anivrittatma has 3 words in it, 3 components. The first one is Atma. So he is Atma. Then the second one is Nivrittatma. Nivritta. Nivritta means one who gives up. And Anivrittatma, one who never is not found. One who is never not found means what? One who is always found. Yeah. Why is he always found? Because there is no way you can find his absence. Sarvam Vishnumayam Jagat. All that is Brahman. Wherever you go, you only can find Krishna. So, that is why he is Anivrittatma. Let us see what Shankara writes. Sarvatra Vartamanatvat. Sarvatra means everywhere. What is the meaning of Tra? Ghatakatvam. Taral Pratyasya Ghatakatvam Arthaha. Ghataka means part. Sarvatra means everywhere. Every part you search, you will find a piece of Vishnu there. So it is like Vishnu being the substratum of space, Akasha. Vyad Vishnu Padam Vachyam. Akasham stays in Vishnu. So you cannot find a spot where there is no space. Wherever you are going to look, what will you find? You will find space. And that space is staying in Vishnu. That is what he means. He is Ghataka. He is a part of wherever you can go. That is why Sarvatra Vartamanaha. Vartamanaha means one who is, one who exists. One who exists everywhere. Kutopi Anivrittaha. Hence he is not away from any place. If you are here, if you are found here, you are not going to be away from this place. Vishnu being everywhere, he is not going to be away from any place. Nivrittaha means away. Nivrittaha means one who has gone away. Anivrittaha means one who is never away from any spot. That is the first meaning. Sarvatra Vartamanatvat, since he is everywhere, Kutopi Anivrittaha, is never not found anywhere, always found everywhere. Ataha Anivrittatma. So this Atma means Paramatma, Vishnu himself. The second meaning, Nivrittatma, the word Atma means mind. How can Atma mean mind? Because that is how you understand. When you say Mahatma, this Mahatma is coming, what do you mean is his body. His body is coming. And when that person is saying I am, he means only his mind. So you always take the word Atma to be your mind or body. These are the only 2 possibilities. You never think about Sachidananda Atma unless you are in Vedanta class. Normally, Atma means only my body or me, my internal world. So he's coming to your outlook, your definition, from your standpoint. So Nivrittaha Atma. Nivritta means retire, away. What is away? Atma Manaha. The mind is away. One whose mind is away. Away from what? Vishayebhyaha. From sensual objects. From sensual pleasures. Hence he is in Nivrittatma. So there can be two kinds of Atmas. Like Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu is a Pravrittatma. Why? Because he has a golden bed. Kashipu means bed. Hiranya means golden. Because his bed is made of gold, he is Pravrittatma. He is always going and working and getting it, what he wants. But Vishnu lies in a serpent. That's why he is a Nivrittatma. One who is away from pleasures. So if you want to confront Vishnu, you also have to have a Nivrittam Manaha. Your mind should be away from sensual pleasures.
So in this particular explanation, in the first part, they use the three Anivrit Atma. In the second part, they're dropping the they're
Yes.
saying
Is dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always these people drop, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. They drop the A. Have you heard that? Parthaya pradibodhitam bhagavata narayanena swayam vyasena gratitam purana munina madhye mahabharatam advaitamritavarshinim. They will say Dvaitamritavarshinim. So they just drop that. Why? Because they want to see difference between them and Bhagavan. Why can't you see difference between Bhagavan and you? Because there is no difference. Ananyas Chintayanto Mam. Bhaktas, that is how they look at Krishna. He's Ananyaha. He's not different from you. You are not made of platinum and he is not made of gold. Both are made of Chaitanya. The stuff you are made of is consciousness. He is also made of. That's why they Shuddhadvaitam, Vishishtadvaitam, Advaitam. Everywhere they say the word Advaitam. Why? Because it is one. The stuff is the same. You cannot be his spark if you are not made of fire stuff. So conveniently they will add A and drop A. That is all this Pandit play. Like we say, Tattvamasi Shvetaketo. Hey Shvetaketo, Tattvamasi, you are the truth. Don't search for truth anywhere else. You are the truth. They will say, Atattvamasi Shvetaketo. You are not. He is it. You are separate. Like Jesus Christ is separate and he is coming and saving you. So that is why I is like.
Poetic license.
Yes. No, you can slip it in and it won't make any difference. It's a syllable which can easily get attached. So both Anivrittatma and Nivrittatma is. Why? Because when you do Savarna Dirgha Sandhi in Sanskrit, Savarna means same properties. What is Savarna? Same properties. For example, Deva Alayam. Deva ends in A. Alayam ends in A. So, Deva ends in the short A. Alayam ends in the long A. Either you connect the short A and long A, or long A and long A, and short A or short A. Short A and long A and short A. The result is the same. Because it is Savarna Dirgha. Like that. So you cannot figure out how many A's are in there unless you know the word and split it. And as long as you don't increase the amount of syllables in the line, the amount of syllables allowed is 8. Why? Because it is Anushtup Chandaha. 8 letters you can have. And without that, if you can arrive at the meaning, then you are allowed to. That's how you get so many different opinions. Because everybody have that bloated ego. Panditji is not like going to give up easily. He will always want to bring out his point of view. So Anivrittatma and Nivrittatma, it can be split both ways. So Nivrittaha Atma. Atma here second meaning Manaha. So one whose mind is Nivrittaha means away. If you want to watch a movie your mind has to be away from video games. If you want to play video game and watch movie, you cannot do that. You will fail in one thing. Either you will miss what the hero did, or you will fail in the. That's why you need nivritti.
He's saying no.
Everybody is nivrittatma. Everybody is a nivrittatma. In this world, everybody. See, when you even a pashu, a cow is a nivrittatma. How? When you show him a stick, he runs away. When you show him a grass, he comes to you. So he became a pravrittatma, seeing the grass, seeing the stick. So everybody has got graded intelligence. But one who has supreme intelligence, he will run away from Vishaya, from sensual pleasures. Why? Because they can ensnare you. They can really get you in trouble. Because you will not know when to stop. Hence, it is always better to keep away. Adyantavantah kaunteya nateshu ramate buddhaha. Buddhaha means pandits or intelligent, wise people who have viveka. They adyantavantah. From the beginning to the end, they don't go there. Why? Because it is filled with problems. That is why his manaha is away from Vishaya. Vishaya means sensual pursuit. Just like they say, eating for pleasure or eating for health. Eating for pleasure means whatever you want, you can eat. Eating for health means it will be very restricted. You will be nivrittatma. You can't eat a lot of things then. So that is the meaning of nivrittatma. It's a very good quality to meditate upon, this nivrittatma. And it's very easy. Nivritti is extremely easy. Pravritti is hard. What is hard? Going up the coconut tree or coming down?
Coming down is hard.
Coming down is hard. You just leave your hand.
Regular.
Put a bed down. If you have bed down, like Vishnu is ready to catch you, even if Vishnu is up there, you have to climb up. Right? But to come down, all you have to do is nivrittatma. You just leave your hands. Straight you will. So nivritti is actually easy if you really think about it. But people say it is no. Pravritti is easy. Nivrittatma is that. So you turn your mind away from the sensory world. So samavritto nivrittatma durjayaha. So there are two words. Du means dukkham or difficulty. Jayaha means to defeat, to be victorious. So one who is very hard to pass over, to get success over, to be won over. That is Vishnu, Durjayaha. Jetum na shakyate. It is impossible to beat him. It's like a wife. You always lose. She is Durjaya. Like that, Vishnu is Durjayaha. Only man I know in this world is Vishnu, who is Durjayaha.
And Jyoti.
Oh, I lost today.
Jetum na shakyate. Never possible to. So why Jaya means what? What is the meaning of Jayam? Jayam means Abhibhavanam. Bhavanam means to be. Abhi means on top. If you are ahead of somebody in Buddhi, in Shakti, in Parakrama, in Udyama, in Sahasa, then you can be above him. But Vishnu is, in all these respects, always Vishnu is ahead of others. That is the reason why he's never, you cannot do Abhibhava. You cannot be above him. That is why he is Durjayaha. Then the next one is Duratikramaha. There are three words there. Du means dukkham, ati means much, kramaha means step. So kramaha means to move, to travel. Kramaha means to travel. Atikramaha means to break the law. Atikrama means what? To break the law. And Duratikramaha means one who whom it is impossible to break. That is the meaning of Duratikrama. Why you cannot brake? Why are you always going in 35 mile or 42 mile speed? Because that speed limit is Duratikramaha. The cop will catch you. So it is the bhayam. It's the bhayam which is the reason why you don't transgress the order. That is what it is. Vishnu is the order. Vishnu is dharma, whom nobody is willing to transgress. Why? Because of bhayam. Bhaya hetutvat. That's what Shankara writes. Bhaya hetutvat tasya ajna na adikramanti. Nobody transgresses his ajna. What is ajna? Order. So Vishnu's order is called what? Dharma. The order of constitution is called law. Constitution orders you to do certain things. And you are always scared that you should not break the law. That is why you don't do it. So similarly, this is the mechanism of Vishnu. What? Bhayam. Naturally, everybody is afraid. Bhayam is ingrained in every person. Why there is bhayam? Because you want something. What is the reason for bhayam? You want something. And who is these people who are afraid to break Vishnu's ajna? Suryadayaha, Surya, etc. Surya means they are like the officials who run this world. Who runs this world? Why do you wake up every day morning? Because the sun is up. What is the name of sun? You know, the name of the sun is Dinakaraha. What is the name of sun? Dinakaraha. Dinakaraha means one who makes the day. That is why they have this daylight savings and all. They adjust according to the sun. So it is the sun who makes it really possible for the world to get up. And if the sun is late, what happens? There will be disorder. Hence, Vishnu makes sure that the sun is never late. If there is an order, he has to follow that order. And it is because of fear of Vishnu, they don't atikramanti, they don't cross over that law. So it is very easy to find out that there is an intelligent design behind this. If you look at the order of things, unless somebody has put together intelligently, it is not possible to have such precision in nature. And so the mental order is also like that, psychological order. Everybody is scared, not just you. Everybody is scared about the dark. They don't know what is inside the dark, so they are scared. So it is universal. It is not just you who are scared about cockroaches. There are like 1 billion people who love cockroaches and another 2 million who are afraid of it. So somebody is creating this order. That is why you have the fear. So fear is a mechanism Vishnu uses to put people in their place. Here only, in the Veda, only 5 people are mentioned. 5 people who are really scared about Vishnu. And because of their scare, because of their fear of law, they don't transgress. Because of that, we are all doing Saukhya Jivanam. We are all very peaceful because of them. Who are those 5? Kathopanishad, Yajurveda. Bayadasya Agnistapati. The fire will burn you only on the stove. If you switch on the stove, it won't burn here. So he restricts his burning to his body. Wherever the fire body is, that is what it is going to burn. He does not transgress his limits. That is because of Bhayam of Paramatma, because he is afraid of Vishnu, his creator. And then Bhayat Tapati Suryaha. Surya also does not increase his temperature. It is like 90. In India, he does a little bit, but not too much. Because he is scared of Vishnu. Bhayat Tapati. And then Bhayat Indraha. Indraha is the lord of Indriyas, your sense organs. Your sense organs don't transgress. Your eye cannot listen. Your eye cannot listen. Your eye can only see. And it can only see when there is light. So there is so restricted. And Indra will not transgress that rule. And then Vayuscha Dhavati. wind also flows according to rules. Otherwise, the tides all will be messed up. If the wind takes a different course, everything will be messed up. And the fifth one, Mrityuhu Dhavati Panchamaha. Death runs. He runs away looking at Vishnu. So these are the 5 main orders that are in the universe. They are all scared about Paramatma. Iti Mantravarnat Mahat Bhayam Vajramudyatamam. He is the one who has the greatest fear as his weapon. Vajram means weapon. So he uses fear. Anybody who controls has to use fear. They'll say you will lose that, you will lose this. Only then they can control you. And that is all tiny bhayam. If you are fired, you will go elsewhere. But this is like Mahat Bhayam. If you make one mistake, you are gone. There is no chance. That is why it's the immense fear he produces. And with that, he controls the elements. That is Kathopanishad again, 6.3 and 6.2.
What is meant by Mrityu?
Mrityu means Adarshanam.
No, like being afraid of. Like I can understand but when it is time.
It doesn't
for-
kill if it's not time.
So no akaranam.
Akarana Mrityu, yeah.
Or akalam.
Yes. Yeah. Just like Surya, on time he comes. He has to follow certain order. And that order is decided by Vishnu. That is why Vishnu can change it. Vishnu can change Dhruva. He said, no, you are not going to die. Mahabali, he said that. You are not only going to die, you are always going to look at me. You'll see me whenever you want me to see. When you want me to see, you can have that. Sarvadarshanam that he gave. So he can tweak all this because he is Chetana. He is not like the Buddhist karma. Buddhists say that everything is because your karma. You do your karma. And how will the karma do anugraha to you? Karma cannot do anugraha. Because why? Karma is not conscious. And they don't believe in consciousness. Buddha don't believe in, they believe in Shunyam. Same like Jain also. They all, Vijnana Skandha, flicker of some consciousness. So, real anugraha, kripa can only come from Bhagavan who is Chetana. Because he is a conscious person, he understands everything. Hence, Mrityu also is scared. Otherwise, the hospital beds will not be empty. You cannot take new patients. The Mrityu has to do his job correctly. So that is Mrityuhu Panjamaha. Durudhikramaha. A joke at Emma's expense. Durjayo Durudhikramaha. There is a joke actually. There are 2 brothers. One is a doctor and one is...
Just making it up.
No, it's there in the Apaya Dikshidasam. They have written. Vaidyaraja Namastubhyam Yamaraja Sahodara Yamastu Harati Pranan Vaidya Pranan Dhananicha. You know that, right?
What does it mean?
It means that doctor just...
He is the elder brother of Yamraj.
Yamaraja Sahodara. Yama does take away your 5 things. He takes only Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana and Samana. And the elder brother takes one more thing, the 6th thing. Pranan,
Well,
Dhananicha. He also takes the insurance. Okay, so that is Mrityurdhavadi Panchamaha. And then Durlabhaha. Durlabhaha means Labha. What is Labha? Profit. One or gain. Gain. Here it is gain. One who is hard to gain. It's very hard to gain Vishnu. Why Vishnu is hard to gain? How do you gain a form? By eyesight. How do you gain a form? By the eye. How do you gain the eye? You cannot gain it, it is given. So that it is like that. Chakshushas chakshuhu. He is the thing behind the eye. That is why it's hard. If it is a form, you can gain it. Because it's an object. But he is the one who empowers the eye to see the form. That is why he is Durlabhaha.
I have a question.
Mm.
So here, Durlabha is also, to gain, But lava.
Dukkhena labha, one who is very hard to gain.
Okay, lava is also gain, right?
Labha means gain. Yeah, only one meaning. Labha, always gain.
Yeah, but why in this, you always see durlabha and not, he could have just said labha, no?
Durlabha is difficult.
Difficult.
Dukkhena, oh, you are asking why not labha, durlabha or labha. That's because of grammar.
Okay.
Yeah. When the prefix comes, the dirgha is dropped. When there is prefix to it, dirgha is dropped. That is why it is like that.
But you always add a prefix to it. Why is that?
You can have any number of prefixes according to, like sudurlabha. Durlabha means very hard to get. Sudurlabha, very, very, very hard to get. Like that you can have. But whenever there is a prefix, you drop the dirgham.
Was that your question? What was your question?
Yeah.
Durlabha.
Why it is not labha, right?
In Sanskrit, they always they want to stress, I guess, it's like instead of saying just labha is also profit or gain. But what was the need to add durlabha?
So opposite of that.
Oh,
Labha is profit,
okay.
gain. Durlabha is opposite of gaining.
Difficult.
Or one who is not so easy to gain. Durlabha would be not very easy to gain. Yeah. But it is the opposite of labha. One who it is not so easily accessible. It means inaccessible or accessible with difficulty. Inaccessible or accessible with difficulty.
Opposite of sulabh. Sulabh is
Sulabh,
easy to
yeah.
gain. Durlabh is
Yeah.
difficult to gain.
Like
In
for
Hindi.
Shiva, they say Sulabha Prasannaya, right? One of the
Yeah.
names.
Ashutosh.
Easy to praise. Or Durlabh, they also say Durlabh Marg, like it's a difficult way. That's what I think the opposite. Yeah. So you can say Labha or you can say Sulabha, that is very easy. I think that's what you're asking.
Durlabha has two meanings. One is negative, one is emphasis. Negative would be never gained. Durlabha means impossible to gain. Another meaning would be gain with great dukkham. Gain with dukkham. Or the instrument that is used for gaining is very hard to find. That's what he is saying. Durlabhya bhaktya labhyaha. Bhagavan is labhyaha, gained how? With bhakti. But that bhakti is not easy. The hard part is, Bhagavan is, you can gain, but he can be gained through bhakti. That bhakti is very hard to gain. That's how he writes it. Durlabhaya bhaktya labhyaha. One who is gained with very difficulty obtained bhakti. Very difficultly obtained bhakti. Why is bhakti so difficult to obtain? Because bhakti means what? Bhakti means the feeling you have for yourself. How do you feel about yourself? You will not trade yourself even for $1 million. They ask, do you want yourself for $1 million? What will you take? You will always take yourself. You are more dear than anything else. Because you are your own bhakta. You are bhakti means love, prema. So that kind of feeling you should have for Vishnu. That is called Ananya Bhakti. Ananya Bhakti means just like you feel for your own self, that you should have for Vishnu. You have certain instances like that in life. For a child, the child is born, you'll say that now it is enough. I'm ready to die. They'll make such statements in movies. And I am not going to suspect that at all, because I really I'm sure that motherhood is like that. It's not something I can experience, but I can appreciate. They will say that I'm done. Even if God takes my life away, that's fine, because I brought out this thing. That means what? you are giving more importance to the offspring than to yourself. That is called bhakti. That is called prema. So that kind of and that is also called prasava vairagyam. Why it's called prasava vairagyam? Because you will say this only when you are in the hospital bed. When you get into the car, your mind will change. It will slowly weaken. It's like Purana Vairagyam. When you are sitting here, you will see that Vishnu is the ultimate thing. But once you wear the chapel and go out, that is called Purana Vairagyam. Same thing, you have Smasana Vairagyam. When somebody dies, you say, oh, what is this life? I'm going to give up and become a Jain monk. But then, after you take a bath, again it comes back, the old vasanas. So, prema is bhakti. Bhakti is what? Prema, not the regular prema. Parama prema rupa. That's what Bhakti Sutra defines. Sacha parama prema rupa. Prema is like priya bhavana. What is premam? Priya bhavana. That this is dear to me. And invariably you have that feeling only towards yourself. You will not feel that to anybody. Yajnavalkya clearly says to that Maitreyi, to his wife, who is dear to you? He asks. Then he answers, Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Hey Maitreyi, I am dear to you. You say, hey dear honey, because you are dear to yourself. First you are dear to you, that is why I am dear to you. Hence first, the most dearest thing in this world is self. That is bhakti. That is why they say, Swaswarupanu sandhanam bhaktirithyabhidiyate. One's own Swarupa, that's what's most dear. There is also a proof why there is Atma. The proof the Atma is because it is Priyam. There is that self-love, you are overwhelmed with that. In spite of everything, you have that love for yourself. That is a sign that there is Atma. That is called Ananda. There are three proofs that you exist. One of your Spuranam. You're feeling that I. Second is, I enjoy loving myself. That enjoyment talks about knowing. You know yourself, that's why you love. So that is why we have Sat, Chit and Ananda. Anandam is because of Priyam. Spuranam is because of Chit. And then Sat, your existence. Hence, that is what Bhakti is all about. Bhakti is that feeling of dearness. And that is impossible to get, or very hard to get, so difficult to get. You can get it only by Sravanam. How do you get it? That is the first step. There are 9 steps for Bhakti. Navada Bhakti, yeah. Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. That's what you do to the child. Atma Nivedanam. Oh God, take me. Save this child. The mother say that. Or some disciples say to the gurus. Like Guru Nanak, they say that I will give my life to him. Usko bachao. Atma Nivedanam. That is the final stage in prema. So, and that is durlabha. That is very hard to gain. That's what Shankara says. Durlabhaya bhaktya labhyate. He is gained. How? Bhaktya. But that bhakti is durlabha. That's not easy. So, why? Because it is conditional. Bhakti or devotion is conditional. What is a condition? Janmantara sahasreshu tapo jnana samadhibihi. In sahasra janma, in many janmas, you need to get 3 things lined up. Then you will get easily bhakti. Number 1, tapaha. What is tapas? Not getting over emotional. What is tapas? Yeah. Sanniyan Nendriya Gramam Sarvatra Samabuddhayaha. That is tapas. Manasaschendriyanancha Ekatmyam Paramam Tapaha. That is Paramam Tapaha. Regular Tapaha is what? Your Indriya Gramanam Niyamanam. Indriya Grama means what? Your senses. Your senses, your emotions should be put under check. That is called tapas. A tapasya will not be jumping around. He won't be angry or passionate. He'll be very calm. So that is tapas. Samabuddhi. And then jnanam. What is jnanam? Knowledge. You need to know about Bhagavan. Why do you give up your life for the child? Because you know that it came out of you. You don't see any difference. You already know what it is. But you are not looking at Bhagavan. If you look at Krishna, then you will love him. You only see him in pictures. And one picture he wears a different dress. He's so changing. You can't have a consistent picture of the Bhagavan. So you really don't know him well. It's all very avyakta. That is why you have to have the jnanam of Bhagavan. Bhagavad Tattva Jnanam is important. And then samadhi. What is samadhi? Equal drishti. Dhi means what? Buddhi. What is the buddhi? It is not nirvikalpa samadhi, savikalpa samadhi. That is all for hatha yogis or yogis. Samadhi means, for Vedanta, samadhihi. Sama means equal. Dhi means vision, buddhi. Everywhere you see only Vishnu. You don't see the handbag, you see Vishnu. You don't see the clock, you see Vishnu. Sarvatra samadhi. That is why he said, Sanyad Mendriya Gramam Sarvatra Samabuddhayaha. That Samabuddhi is called samadhi. If you get these three right, then you will get bhakti. So if you don't have bhakti, see that. If somebody says, you don't love me, then this is the checklist. If you know that person very well, if you get samadhi looking at them, that's everywhere you have to see. Romeo has to see Juliet everywhere. Then only he is a Romeo. He cannot see anything else. So that is the condition for unconditional love. You should have knowledge of the object of love. Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam. That's what we promised in Bhagavatam. If you do all this, Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam, you will get Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam. Because you have this condition met. What are the conditions? Tapaha, Jnanam, Samadhi. It looks so familiar, the word tapaha. Nobody even suspect that they don't know it. Because you have read Amar Chitragatha and you have seen the smoke coming up and churning the Brahmaji out of his seat. So everybody knows what is tapas. So start doing it to get towards bhakti. That is the condition. Janmantara sahasreshu tapa jnana samadhibihi. What does this tapas do? Naranam, Kshina, Papanam, all your papas become Kshina. Meaning they are not going to go away. It will be in your heart, that desire for whatever you are inclined to. But it will be very Kshina. Compared to Bhakti, they will take a back seat. So if the choice is between Cherry and Krishna, Cherry will take a back seat. Krishna will, I got over the banana. Krishna will take the front seat. Because the papam is kshinam. What is papam? Your own vasanas. What is papam? Your instinct, your inclination. Your inclination for worldly things. That goes away. And then what happens? Krishne bhakti prajayate. Then you will become very excited about Krishna. That excitement is bhakti. That is another Chandali Sutra. Udrekata. That when people come to your house, oh, they are going to look at everywhere, I have to clean it up. Everything has to be dusted properly. That kind of, it generates a kind of longing in your heart. That is called bhakti again. That jayate. So these are the conditions. Your papas has to go away. You have to have jnanam, tapas and samadhi.
Dan is not part of it.
Who?
In the Bhagavatam there was Danam also, right?
Yeah.
Tapa, Danam.
See, the word tapas. Tapas can be danam, tapas can be satyam. So different people have attained the alignment of their indriyas. If you are extremely rich, probably by giving up everything, he got that alignment. And for a person like Kuchela, he doesn't have fidelity or anything. What is there for him to give up? So naturally, he's not going to engage in dhanam. What will he engage? He will japam. Yajnanam, japa, yajnosmi. Among all the sacrifices, I am japa. Like that. So the word tapas has Valmiki understood as learning. Valmiki understood. That is the first opening statement of Ramayana. Tapasvadhyaya niratam Valmiki is always engaged in the tapas, which is in the form of learning. And Panini also says tapa alochane. Tapa alochane. Tapa means to, because they say that don't study too much, you'll become mad. Your processor will become, it will heat up. చెప్తారు తెలుగులో యాక్చువల్లీ పైత్యం పట్టింది ఈ థ్రెడ్ అండ్ సో మేబీ ఇట్స్ ఇన్ హిందీ ఆల్సో దట్ హీ వాస్ లెర్నింగ్ టూ మచ్ అండ్ బికేమ్ పాగల్ హో గయా బికాస్ తప ఇస్ ఆలోచనం ఓవర్ థింకింగ్ ఇట్ క్యాన్ లీడ్ టు తప ఆల్సో మీన్స్ alignment of your sense organs, sense control. See, when you become a South Indian, you will know Puliyodari, yellow rice, Puligara. And if you are in North India, you have no clue. You don't even know what is Karamani, what is Sona Masuri. That you might know if you go. There's so many varieties of rice. Just like that, if you get into the business of Krishna Bhakti, so many things you'll come to know. Tapas, what is tapas? Because you are rolling this rice in your mind all the time. Like that, you are thinking about Shraddha, tapas, Viryam, all these words, gunas of the Bhagavan, it takes new meaning because you are living with them. So that is why tapas has that meaning. Okay, so iti Vyasavachanat. Then in Bhagavad Gita he says, Bhaktya labhyastvananyaya. I am labhyaha. You get me? How? Bhaktya. What kind of bhakti? Ananya bhakti. Anya bhakti means what? He is different, I am different. That is called Anya bhakti. Ananya bhakti means we are the same. We are made of the same material. That is called Ananya bhakti. Ananya bhakti means Anyam na. What is the meaning of Ananyam? Anyam nasti. When you add a a before a consonant, you just say alabhyam. Because la is what? A consonant. But when you add a na before another vowel, you don't say alabhyam. You say ananyam. Because anyam is starting with what? A vowel. So you have to add na. That's the thing. So if you add it to a consonant, then you just add a vowel. But if you add it to a vowel, you cannot add a vowel. You have to add a consonant. That is why it is ananya. Ananya means what? Not different. Not different means what? There is nothing other than Krishna for me. Krishna is the only stuff. For Romeo, what is the only stuff? Juliet. Similarly, for a bhakta, there is no other stuff other than. That's why you can very hard to convince teenagers. Why? Because they have Ananya Bhakti. When they are 8th grade, it will be BTS. In the 9th grade, it will be something else. It keeps on changing. But at that point, it is Ananyam. They become one with that fusion. The fusion, subject-object fusion, is what makes people mad over the thing. Yeah, that is, and they cannot find it easily. They don't know how to do it. So they do all sorts of tricks. Dhammaro, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. All that because they want to fuse. They want to just forget this mind. This mind is bothering. They become tired of it. The addiction, whatever it is, it makes them so frivolous and restless. So the only way, the mechanism of life is what? You rest to get well. Resting is the only way. That's why they go to that extremes, and then fused into themselves and get some rest. And again in the morning, again it starts. That's why teenage years are the worst years of the life. I have said it many times. Because you are figuring out the learning process. It is like that butterfly coming out of the cocoon. If you try to help it, it will break. You will destroy the butterfly. So you cannot do anything. You can only watch and let them realize that it was wasted later. Unless you are really very fortunate, you will get guidance. But normally this is the norm. Those are the last years of your life. Okay, so bhaktya labhyastu ananyaya iti bhagavad vachanat. Durlabhaha. So how hard it is to get Bhagavan? That is what the whole idea is. How hard it is to get bhakti? That hard. The next one is Durgamaha. So I don't want bhakti, I'll just go to his temple. No, that is also not possible. Dukhyana gantum shakyaha. Dukhyana gamyate. So gamyate here does not mean physically going. Why? Because in Sanskrit we have a rule. What is the rule? Gatyarthaganam jnanarthakatvam. Whenever you say going, it also means knowing. Did it go? Means what? Adi vellinda. Means what? Did you know? Did it go means what? Did it go? The concept go inside your head. So that is what here it means. So Durgamaha means Durjneyaha. Durgamaha means what? Hard to know. Dukhyena gamyate jnayate iti Durgamaha. Why is it so hard to know Bhagavan? Because the word Durga usually means fort. You know the Durg, yeah. So it is surrounded with a moat and there are alligators, all that. It's like that. They are called impediments, antaraya. There is a lot of impediments to reach. Like calculus, you just cannot gain it easily. So you have to overcome a lot of hurdles. Same thing, Bhagavad Jnanam is also like that. Vishnu Jnanam is not very easy to be gained because of the presence of antaraya. Antaraya is what? Impediments, blocks. Then what? Durgaha. Durgaha means antaraya pratihateir dukkhad apyate. Antaraya is vignam or block. Pratihata means stopped. Dukkha means difficulty. When you get a block on your way, then you feel like quitting. That's what happens when you go to Vishnu. So it's all like a warning sign. So you'll be prepared. You don't quit. That is the meaning of Durgaha. Antaraya means vignam. Antaraya timiropashantaye. Antaraya means the timiram inside, the darkness inside. They say that Paramatma is available inside, but when you close your eyes and look, all you see is darkness. And that is the first block. So you just have to have Shraddha. You have to have consistency, persist, look again. The next one is Duravasaha. Now, this Durgamaha, Durjneyaha is all done. Somehow you got a glimpse of him in your heart by repetition. You are not giving up. Again and again you try. Then he becomes what? Duravasaha. Avasaha means one who stays. Vasaha means what? Stays. Srinivasaha. It has come before. Srinivasaha means in whom Lakshmi stays. So he is Duravasaha. Sri can come and stay in him, but he will not stay anywhere. He is Duravasaha. Why he is Duravasaha? Dukkhena chitte yogibihi avasaha. The yogis, they try so hard. Again they try to pull that form and try to place him. That's what they say in the Govinda Damodar Stotra. Ulukhale Yaminam Mano. What yogis with great difficulty try to tie in their mind, Yashoda very easily with bhakti, she tied him into that Ulukhala, grinding stone.
Okay.
Yeah. So very effortlessly she did that. So in other words, for the yogis it is so hard to pull him and make him sit there because his avasa is dukkhena shakyaha. very hard for him to be placed in their heart. Chitte, that's what he says. Chitte yogibihi samadho dukkhena avasyate. He's rehabilitated. His place is Vaikuntha. From there you have to lift him up from Goloka and put him in your heart. It's not going to be easy. That is why he's Duravasaha, very hard to place in the chitta of yogis. Iti Duravasaha. Next one is Durariha. Ari. Ari means enemy. Who is your enemy? Maths teacher. So sometimes the enemies can be good people. The maths teacher is your enemy. Why? Because you don't like. Enemy means what? Somebody whom you don't like. But here it is not like math teacher. Durariha. Really bad. It is not like enemy you dislike. They are intrinsically a very bad guy. Like Hamsa. You cannot but hate him. So he doesn't go after your enemies. He really goes after the bad ones. That's why that though Ari or enemy itself has got a negative connotation, he adds emphasis to that. That is because what is enemy for you can be a patriot for somebody else. A Pakistani can be something to you, but he's a patriot there. That's why Durariha. He has to be a terrorist too, like Kamsa. Then he is really, Vishnu goes after him. Let us look at it. Durarinaha. The word Ari, first we look at the word Ari. Ari means what? Enemy. Why Ari is called an enemy? Because Rgatau. The moment you see him, either you run away or he runs away. That is the definition of Ari. You don't want to go anywhere near him. That's why Ari, he is called an Ari. Like a mongoose and snake. They don't want to face each other. The classic example of Ari is in-laws. Aranam means Gamanam. Aranam means Gamanam. Because this Ari or the Shatru, the enemy, always moves away from you. Either he moves away or you move away. That is why he is called Ari. So the word Ari itself has got that repulsion. Duraranam means Durgamanam, Duscharanam. Gamanam here means Charanam. Charanam means character. Charana means what? Character or his charya, his behavior. That is bad. So he is not only dislike or enemy, he is also acting bad. That is why the word Dur has come. Otherwise you will be wondering, like enemy means bad. He can just kill them. No. Durari. They also have to have bad character. Because Vishnu is everybody's friend. Vishnu is, how do you know? It says in the Gita. Suhridas sarva bhutanam jnatva mam shantim richati. You know that I am the friend of everyone. Once you know me like that, you will get peace immediately. So God is not something you have to fight. It's not like your parents. He is really good. Naturally, he is your friend. So that's why he says Durariha, Durarinaha, Durgaminaha. Durgaminaha means bad movement, meaning action. Movement here means what? Action. Action is always movement. What is an action? Movement. And what is Durgama? Bad action. Meaning action with evil intent. Action with evil intent. Evil intent always creates disorder. And he doesn't like that. He wants to create order back. That is why Durgaminaha. And who are those people? You want an example? Shankara says, Danavadayaha. Danavas and Yadavas. This Danavadayaha, Adipadat, you accept all Asuras, Kinnaras, or people who are really with bad intent. Who really, bad intent means Akarunattvamakarana vigraham paradhane parajaneshu cha spruha They always want other people's wealth. And they are naturally akaruna. They will have so much of hatred. Akarana vigraham. Without any reason, they will come and quarrel. These are the people who are the bad guys. They don't need a trigger to flare up. Naturally, they are like that. So those are the people he is after. Tan hanti. He takes care of them. He really vanquishes them. That is why he is called as Durariha. So this is just like a sign for you to develop patience. You just have to be patient with God. Because he is taking care of things. You really don't have to overthink and worry about people who do harm. Tambojam bhedadhami. That's what they say in the Veda. Tambojam bhedadhami. Jambha means what? Yawn. When Rudra yawns, he swallows. Whom? Encha vayam dushmaha. Dushmaha means what? People who hate us. For no reason you are an object of hatred in the world. You can just live your life normally for no reason of yours, because of your nose, because of your car, or some reason. With no reason you can be an object of hatred. At that time you have to leave it to God. Why? Because he is Durariha. That is his job. It's not your job to reply to that hatred. Because you will burn yourself first. With negative qualities, you are going to burn yourself first. So you have to leave it to him. That is why he is called Hari. Hari means one who resolves. He can just swallow it up. And he is also Hari because he hurries up. He's never late. He's always 5 minutes before you expect him. Harihi. Swasti prajabhyah paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahisha go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam loga samasta sino bhavantu sarve